Hey, how are you guys doing today? I hope amazing. So we're back and we're going to be doing more writing on the novel I've been working on. We're in revision two, and so the entirety of the book has actually been written except for a new chapter that has to be developed in here that's basically just delving into the AI itself. Real quick, I'm going to get chat up so I can see what's going on. I hope you're all having an amazing week, of course. My week's been super smooth so far, and so there are absolutely no complaints. So let me click right in here to chapter 2 and we'll just get started right off the bat. Really, there are some minor things I probably would change in chapter 1 still, but in all honesty, since we're only on revision 2 of like 6 revisions, I don't think we have to worry about like the minor things I would change. So on revision 2, I'm going to go over what we're focusing on, adding details of the magic, details of more alienness, basically. Any efforts we can to put more information about the nanites and the AI, which honestly, the nanites and the AI are not inside of Sam at this point, so that's not really an issue. Atmospherics and the virus. And so, really, in all honesty, in these first few chapters, we can really only allude to the alien stuff, mess with the magic, and mess with the atmospherics. I mean, like, there are some minor other changes that we could do, but reality wise, Sam doesn't receive the AI until I think chapter 4 or something, and we don't have him seriously delve into the AI until chapter 11, which honestly, that's pretty far out. That might change at some point, but I'm not a million percent on that. Just for the record. I just want to hold on one second. I had to restart this phone that I used for our chat. So, hope you guys are having that amazing week that I was talking about. Got chat up finally, and hello. Hope you are doing amazing. Okay, let's knock this baby out. Really don't remember what I was planning. Okay, there's chapter 2. Chapter 2 is way too short, honestly. I'm not really appreciating that. Let's see, chapter 2, 700 something words, so it doesn't really need way beefed up, but it could use some beefing, just to be honest. What's chapter 3? Chapter 3 is freaking massive. Okay, now I remember some of the little details we wanted to add into this. Honestly, chapter 2 just might be a short chapter, and we might be jumping into chapter 3 quickly. So let's go over this. Let's see what we can improve about this. There's probably a lot. Now remember the next revision thing, we're doing unification, sentence fixing, and dialogue fixing. So I don't want to get too caught up on that. And then, of course, revision 4 is full unification, focusing on the experience itself and more sentence fixing. Then 5 is any leftover corrections. So basically, 5's a read through and like, let's hope we can find some crap to still fix. And 6 is we read through and we basically see if there's anything that would make it better if it wasn't there. There's a chance that we've like wrote something and it absolutely adds zero value to the situation, and making it disappear could actually make the story better. If so, we'll make it disappear. That's the plan, at least at this point. So I quickly got myself around to take a shower. The water flowing over me was the water flowing over me was rejuvenating. I think. Oh, I was about to change the wording on that, but we'll leave it. I stood there thinking about Elena leaving. Not liking the wording on this. And my nose is super plugged up. See this high pollen thing down here? That's affected me. My nose is just absolutely plugged up over it. I stood there thinking about Elena leaving and how broke I was. Really don't really like this. You guys, can I just tell you the truth? I stood there thinking about Elena. So here's what I think. I quickly got myself around to take a shower. The water flowing over me was rejuvenating. Why do I think that this second part? Okay, I'm going to read this, and I know we're not trying to fix sentences right now, but we might fix this sentence, just for the record. Okay? I quickly got myself around to take a shower. The water flowing over me was rejuvenating and gave me time to gather my thoughts. Rejuvenating, giving me time to. See, I quickly got myself around to take a shower and gather my thoughts. The water flowing over me was rejuvenating. I stood there thinking about Elena leaving. Don't worry. Okay, I stood there thinking about Elena and how, when someone moves away, you never really. Okay, so let me think about what I'm wanting to say here, real quick. I stood there thinking about Elena. Don't use meant, the word, very often. I just want to make sure I didn't go over this. Now I don't know what I was thinking by changing things. Now I have to really figure this crap out. I really don't feel this encompasses exactly what the dude would be thinking, right? So here, let's bust it out in reality version, right? Sam knows that basically once you move away, you don't see people again. On top of that, he's broke as crap. Okay. Okay, hold on one second, guys. I just gotta think this through. So let's think of what Sam's going through, right? We got Sam is broke. He's broke as crap. The girl he thought he was gonna eventually get back together with, she's moving away. And in all honesty, Sam knows that basically that means you're never ever gonna see that girl again. So I'm trying to think of how he would opine about this and woo woo himself because I feel it's awkward to have him switch now to, focusing on the job. Okay. I quickly got myself around to take a shower and gather my thoughts. The water flowing over me was rejuvenating. I stood there thinking about Elena moving and what it really meant. The galaxy was big, and for the most part, once someone moves away, you never almost wait, moves away. Okay, away. You almost moves away. You almost never see them again. Okay, let me figure out how to fix up the rest and figure out where we're going with the rest of this paragraph, and then let me mingle it in with this crap. Guys, let me make sure I still have sound because I don't want to have that situation that happened last week where all of a sudden it kicked off. Okay. The galaxy was big, and for the most part, once someone moved away, you almost never saw them again. Okay, guys, we almost got it. Okay, we might actually have some coherent stuff right here. Let me make sure I have sound. Want to make sure we don't have last week's issue. I quickly got myself around to take a shower and gather my thoughts. The water flowing over me was rejuvenating. I stood there thinking about Elena moving away and what it really meant. The galaxy was big, and for the most part, once someone moved away, you almost never saw them again. Worst thing is, I knew she had made the best choice for herself by leaving. I knew how far I had fell and how broke I was since quitting my job. I had only the occasional odd gig to make credits, none of them paying very well. I didn't. Wait. Sorry. I had the occasional odd gig to make credits, none of them. I only had I only had. Do we like the I had only or the only had? I had only the occasional odd gig. Only had the occasional. Can I tell you my partial preferences, the had only over the only had? We're going to go had only. Okay. I had only the occasional odd gig to make credits, none of them paying very well. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I like it. So we might have an actual paragraph fixed, and then we'll jump to the next one. I quickly got myself around to take a shower and gather my thoughts. The water flowing over me was rejuvenating. I stood there thinking about Elena moving away and what it really meant. The galaxy was big, and for the most part, once someone moved away, you almost never saw them again. Worst thing is, I knew she had made the best choice for herself leaving. I knew how far I had fell and how broke I was since quitting my job. I feel that maybe that should be adjusted a little bit, but I had only the occasional odd gig to make credits, none of them paying very well, often providing just enough credits to get some cheap food and pay off my friends. I did want to get myself together and had been planning on eventually. That eventually was now though, and I knew I needed to quit. I made a plan to score a good amount of bliss. I lost my place, I'm sorry. And have one of the and have one big last raw, then go totally sober. So that's pretty good. Let's move to this one. Oh. That's right, I needed that stretch that bad. I didn't have enough credits to pay off my previous front, but that had never stopped me before. From oh, oh, let's fix this crap. Only actually fix it. Why is it doing this thing where I'm... Okay, watch this crap. Okay, I didn't have enough credits to pay off my previous front, but that had never stopped me from coming up with some way of scoring before. Not a perfect sentence, but we'll leave it. I knew someone would want to hook up with enough to cover my front, which would allow me to get another front for what they wanted, and most likely a little something for myself. That's true. I had a few friends that would likely have the credits, but the most likely were Zach and Sarah. Okay. I don't know what I think about that. Okay, well, we're going to move on. Okay, Sarah had been my friend for a couple years before I introduced. Okay, I'm trying. I don't like how I wrote that at all. Sarah had been my friend for a couple years before I introduced her to Zach. Though the introduction was. I don't like that at all. Though the introduction was at first awkward, they hit it off and become inseparable. Became. Sorry about that. Zach and Sarah had their own addictions, including bliss, but managed to keep themselves together. I don't like how I wrote that, but I'm going to say that we're going to leave it. So Zach and Sarah had their own addiction, including bliss, but managed to keep themselves together, staying employed and maintaining an almost normal life. They were planning on getting contracted to each other through marriage and had been dating for the last 2 years while working to save the required credits. Yeah, we'll go along with that. Zach and Sarah were willing to hang. Do we just want to write they? No, we have a they. Boom, boom. I'm kind of bouncing it back and forth. Zach and Sarah were always willing to hang out, and Sarah loved cooking, so there was often a fresh meal offered. Sarah was a healer, allowing her to work in the arcane district of the station. Zack worked as a personal trainer, often slinging a little, and loved to work out, using Amper to push himself and max his gains. After a workout, Sarah would often heal Zack to counter some of the damage he would do during his intensive workouts, allowing him to recover faster. After Sarah and would heal Zack, they would often use a little bliss to relax themselves. Hey Beta Boy, how you doing today? Thank you by the way for lurking. I hope you're having a great day. Okay, I'm going to leave all that the way it is, but I'm going to just be honest. In revision 3, the whole where we're trying to fix sentences and stuff, I feel that that paragraph absolutely needs to be messed with. And I'm not just trying to, yeah, who knows? Who knows? Oh, I was sitting on my feet and they fell asleep a little bit. That's never pleasant. Okay. I'm trying to really think of what I'm writing here. I kind of want to upgrade this right here, but honestly, maybe it doesn't need upgraded. Maybe it's fine now. Let's just look through it. I arrived at their section of the space station. Do I want to have an actual travel there? Is the question, huh? I gotta stand up. Sorry about this. Oh. Yeah, when your feet fall asleep, that's a big no-no in the hey, I don't like that. Okay, I arrived at their section of the space station quicker than I had expected. Ooh. I'm gonna be honest. Feet being asleep is a distracting thing. Okay, let me think about this crap. I kind of want better stuff. Hey, Dewdrop, I hope you're having a great day. And so I'm trying to figure out how we upgrade this a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot, but let's make it a little bit better. Do we want him to just arrive? We already know he's broke, so he didn't take a cab or anything, right? Okay. I arrived at their section of the space station quicker than I had expected, not providing enough time to fully think out how I would ask them for the credits to pay off the front, or if I would just approach them with an offer to go score. I messaged them that I had arrived from the building's guest console. Zach quickly appeared in the console display saying, "Come on up." When I walked into Zach and Sarah's, the smell was amazing. Sarah was always cooking up delicious food while Zach worked out. Sarah yelled, "You're just in time. I'm making some of my famous teriyaki shish kebabs." I really had to actually, I don't look at the word shish kebab enough. I was like, what the heck is a shish kebab? Makes sense. Oh, it's home system food. They were always willing to hang out and often had it. Did I not say that they were always willing to hang out like up there, kind of? Okay, no, I didn't. I just wanted to make sure I don't have the same thing being said twice. This part where I'm like they were always having a fresh meal to share. That part I think I did say up there, just to be honest. I do have it said twice. Do we believe that it takes away by being there twice? And if so, where's the better place to say it? Right? Um, I feel. Hold on. Feel I need to take it out of up here, you guys. Oh, see, we do have the always willing to hang out and offer a meal. So do we want to knock this out of there? Because I literally have the same information being in here more than once. I kind of feel it needs pulled out, just as a straight up. Okay. Okay. Boom. We've got it. I don't feel it being there twice. Like literally, it's the exact same thing. Does anything to benefit us? Let me make sure I have sound. Yep. And so I just zapped it out. That sentence literally is repeated down here in multiple spots. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Let me read back through this, make sure I actually have it. Sarah had been my friend for a couple years before I introduced her to Zach. Though she, though the introduction. Though the introduction was at first awkward, they hit it off and became inseparable. Yeah, that's right. Or do I want to say becoming? Dun, dun, dun. Who knows? Zach and Sarah had their own addictions, including bliss, but managed to keep themselves together, staying employed and maintaining an almost normal life. They were planning on getting contracted to each other through marriage and had been dating for the last 2 years while working to save their credits. Oh, sorry guys, I'm fixing the wording on this, and I know that's not what we're supposed to be doing, but But this is a great opportunity to fix that right there. Hey Glitch Kim, how you doing today? Okay, so let's see if this is fixed, because I think I should have fixed that. They had been dating for the last 2 years and were planning on getting contracted to each other through marriage. Oh. Okay, they had been dating for the last 2 years and were planning on getting contracted to each other through marriage. Mm. I'll fix this up. It'll only take a second. I feel we're missing some stuff here. Okay, let me read over this and figure out what we're missing. I'm going to drink a little of my coffee real quick. Excuse me. Okay. Sarah had been my friend for a couple years before I introduced her to Zach. Though the introduction was at first awkward, they hit it off and became inseparable. Zach and Sarah had their own addictions, including bliss, but managed to keep themselves together, staying employed and maintaining an almost normal life. They had been dating for the last 2 years and were planning on getting contracted to each other through marriage. Okay, comma. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Okay, Sarah was let's reread this and make sure it makes sense. I like changed it and let's just assume it's good. That's probably dangerous. Zach and Sarah had their own addictions, including bliss, but managed to keep themselves together, staying employed and maintaining an almost normal life. They had been dating for the last 2 years and were planning to get contracted to each other through marriage once they managed to save the required credits. Sarah was a healer, allowing her to work in the arcane district of the station. Well, that's good. Zach worked as a personal trainer. I feel that. I don't know where I'm at on that. Zach worked as a personal trainer, often slinging a little, and loved to work out using know if that needed a comment there. And loved to work out using Amper to push himself and maximize. I think right there is maybe better. Let's read that. Zach worked as a personal trainer, often slinging a little, and loved to work out using Amper to push himself and maximize his gains. After a workout, Sarah would often heal Zach to counter some of the damage he would do during his intense. Wait. Okay, I think we have something there. Zach worked as a personal trainer, often slinging a little, and loved to work out using Amper to push himself and maximize his gains. Sarah would often heal Zach to counter some of the damage he would do during his intensive workouts, allowing him to recover faster. After Sarah would heal Zach, they would often use a little bliss to relax themselves. Yeah, I'll leave that like that. They were the most likely to have the money to pay off my front from track. Out of all of the people I knew, I liked them the most. And credits. Let's get the word money out of there, right? I think we fixed something there. Okay, let's move this baby down a little bit. I arrived at their section. Deep breath. I arrived at their section of the space station quicker than I had expected, not providing enough time to fully think out what I would ask them or how I would ask them for the credits to pay off the front, or if I would just approach them with an offer to go score. That sounds reasonable. I messaged them I had arrived from the building's guest console as Zach quickly appeared in the console display. I feel that that sentence actually does need fixed, just for the record. Hey, good morning, Avallonis. Hope you're having a great day. But we're not on sentence fixing, and honestly, I've already fixed a couple sentences that we didn't need to fix, so let's not mess with that, right? Let's just look over this. I really feel that this is okay. It's not exactly what I want. I'm kind of trying to think if there's something I would add into it. Atmospherics, magic, or alienness. Is there any atmospherics, magic, or alienness that we think we could throw into some stuff? Always the question. I really don't feel that there's that big of advantage. You know what I'm gonna do? Well, I don't either, honestly. So let me just be honest about that. I thought I was about to have something witty to throw in there, but I don't really. Not this second. I sat down thinking. I sat down thinking. Pretty sure that we want this like this. I sat down thinking I would be better off starting with small talk. Okay. I'm going to be honest. I've got to figure this out. I don't like what I was just about to write. Get rid of that crap. I'm going to read what's here and then let's figure out how we just improve it. Make it not sucky, right? I sat down thinking I would be better off starting with small talk. Lucky for me, Zach, without wasting any time at all, asked, "Do you think you might be able to score?" I don't know. I don't know. That's not really as strong as I want it to be, but I was relieved I had not yet come up with a plan on how to approach asking for the credits. I replied with a quick, "Yes, Zach." Yes. Okay. Boom. There that is. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not loving the any of the dialogue or any of the wording, but we're not on that revision, so let's just push forward and get this baby done. I sat down thinking I would be better off starting with small talk. Lucky for me, Zach, without wasting any time at all, asked, "Do you think you might be able to score?" I was relieved, as I had not yet came up with a plan on how I would approach asking for the credits. I replied quickly, "Yes, Zach." Uh, See how this is just, I don't like how that looks. Yes. Zach asked, "Think you will be able to?" Really just, why am I hating how this is right there? That section, this section right here, guys, I'm freaking hating it. Like, I don't know what I don't like about it. I know it's the wording, I know it's the construction of the sentences, I know it's how this paragraph is organized. So I guess I do know what I don't like about it. Everything. I mean, like, that's like, I don't know what I don't like about it, and then I have a convenient list of things I don't like about it. Okay, I sat down thinking. Okay, I sat down to get a moment to gather my thoughts. I knew I would be better off starting with small talk, but had not, oh, sorry, but had not fully thought out what to say. Lucky for me, should it be luckily? No, lucky for me, Zach, without wasting any time at all, asked, "Do you think you might be able to score?" I was relieved. Okay. I'm just trying to figure it out, guys. Don't worry. I'll have this in a second. I was relieved as I had not yet come up with a plan on how to approach asking for the credits. Don't worry, I'm gonna have this fixed. Okay. Do you think you might be able to score? I was relieved and quickly replied yes, as I had not yet came came up with a plan on how to. Okay, I think we have this. I was relieved and quickly replied yes, as I had not yet came up with a plan on how to approach asking for the credits. I mean, this is what happened. I might improve that later. Ow, that hurt. Let's just say that. Caught my toenail on something. I know. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to read through this and figure out exactly where we're going with things. Quickly. Okay. So let's read this last paragraph. We might be done with chapter 2. I sat down to get a moment to gather my thoughts. I knew I'd be better off starting with small talk, but had not fully thought out what to say. Lucky for me, Zach, without wasting any time at all, asked, "Do you think you might be able to score?" I was relieved and quickly replied yes, as I had not yet came up with a plan on how to approach asking for the credits. Zach asked, "Think you think you would be able to get some bliss and amper from your guy?" I had luckily only fronted I had only fronted I had luckily only fronted a fill. Let's switch these. Comma. Luckily, I had only fronted enough to have a good time, knowing. Luckily, I had only fronted enough to have a good time, knowing I would have trouble gathering together. Yeah, I'm okay with that actually. Okay. I asked Zach how much he wanted. It was more than I expected. Do we want it like this? And I know that this is nitpicky crap where I'm like fixing sentences here, and I said I wouldn't be doing that. I asked Zach how much he wanted, and it was more than he expected, or, comma, it was more than I had expected. And honestly, it doesn't really change what happens here. It just, do we feel one is better sounding? I asked Zach how much he wanted. It was more than I had expected. I asked Zach how much he wanted, and it was more than I expected. Okay, well, you guys think about that. Luckily, we're not messing with that on this round of revisions, but I don't like how it's worded here. I asked Zach how much he wanted. I asked Zach how much he wanted, and it was more than I expected. That's how I'm gonna leave it. Yeah. I would let him know how much it would be, plus a little extra. Okay. Zach walked over to his deck and pulled up his account. Here, I'm transferring you the credits. Transferring the credits to your account, Zach replied. Okay, that's wording. I don't like the wording on that, but we're going to leave it there. I looked at the amount Zach had transferred, enough to pay off my friend and include most of what he wanted. I looked at the amount Zach had transferred, enough to pay off my front and include most of what he. So that's good, right there. I looked at the amount Zach had transferred, enough to pay off my front, include most of what he wanted. Wording wise, I don't like that. I'm gonna just be honest. That's where I'm gonna say wording wise, I'm not liking some things here. I looked at the amount Zach transferred, enough to pay off my front. Okay. Phil, I looked at the amount Zach transferred. Enough to pay off my front and pay for most of what he wanted. So I would just get a. I think that that's good enough, but I mean, honestly, it's bugging me a little bit, just for record sake. Okay, food's ready, proclaimed, comma, proclaimed Sarah as she placed a tray of shish kebabs down in front of me to eat. Mm, I really, really don't like this. They sat lovingly or looking lovingly at each other while doing the same. Honestly, on the wording section, I feel we're gonna have to murder this section. Just gonna be honest. Okay. I finished before them and decided to excuse myself so I could head to Trag's club. Okay, I think we have chapter 2 done-ish. I'm gonna be honest, wording wise, I'm not loving all of it, but it is what happens. This chapter 3, you guys, legitimately, I need to really study through this, figure out what we need to change, and where we're gonna break this up. This is obviously massive, 2,000 something words for a chapter. I'd rather have this to be 2 chapters and stuff like that. And so, reality wise, I'm probably going to figure out how to change this up a little bit. Um, chapter 3 is likely to be Friday because I honestly don't know exactly what I want to do on chapter 3 yet. But I'm gonna fix some of the stuff here. See how we're off chapters already? See, we're chapter 8, but it thinks it's 7 there, but it's really. So, honestly, I need to do a lot of actual just cleaning this up. I like that we are knocking through this so fast, but at this point, I've kind of got some stuff in a disarray too. How big is this one? Let me go down here to this champion. 2,400 words on chapter 18, huh? Yeah, so you guys can see I have a whole bunch of crap we need to fix. Like, not just a little bit fixed. I feel like we have this chapter 18 is too big, probably. Everything else looks to be flowing well together and stuff. And so I'm not disappointed with all of it. I'm just kind of a little bit like W frickin' TF. This is going fast, guys. Can you believe we almost have a frickin' book done? I mean, like crazy, crazy stuff right there, I think. I think it's crazy. Okay, let me flip us back to where we're supposed to be. Grab this little thingamajiggy. Take this chapter 3. We'll look over this for a second. I don't have my chapter 3 planned out really exactly where I wanted to go with today, except I do want to break this up. I'm going to have to read through this. Honestly, I think I only want to break it in half and fix some of this. Tonight, I'm going to read through chapter 3 and stuff. I'll have it all figured out. On Friday, we'll definitely knock through chapter 3, maybe even chapter 4, but chapter 3 for sure. We only have what? How many chapters? Like 20 something, 28 chapters or something like that. Just trying to figure out worst case scenario, 28 chapters. And we probably 2 chapters a week, 14. Well, I don't want to take the next 90 days to finish this, but it could happen. I'm going to just be honest. I would hope we finish this before the next 90 days. I'm going to look over things tonight and try to move forward a little bit. On Friday morning, we're going to smash chapter 3. I'm going to hope we actually get a little bit past chapter 3. I don't know we necessarily will, though. Real quick, I'm going to see who we can raid on to. Because I don't know how this is the only thing up here. Well, interesting. Well, I would raid somebody, but it doesn't look like I have the stuff up to be able to raid anybody. For some reason, my prompt for Twitch is not up there right now. And so today I'm going to just end a little bit early. Friday, we're going to work on this more. Hopefully, I can get moving at a faster rate than we are. I actually need to start reading ahead and having a better, hey, this is my plan of what we're actually trying to accomplish with the day. And a lot of that is 100% my fault. I need to plan our day out a little bit better. A lot of that, guys, is that I'm a novice at a lot of this stuff. I actually haven't wrote enough books to where I have a smooth, this is how I do it. Hopefully, as we get done with this book and jump on to the next, I actually am a more skilled writer with a better understanding of exactly what I'm doing. Until then, bear with me. You guys are amazing, and I hope you have an amazing day. Peace and very best wishes.